gonna quickly tweet this one out. Live streaming now. There we go. Well, yeah, usual thing for people who get here almost instantly. I'll give it a couple of minutes and that for people to join in that, and then we'll start things off properly. Hopefully. Right. Hopefully this time the chat will actually... There we go, get this a bit closer. Hopefully this time the chat will actually work properly, because last time I had nothing but bloody endless issues with the chat, because about halfway through the previous stream, for those who didn't know, the chat on here stopped working, so I had to physically go on the video myself to see what the chat was actually doing. So yeah, but yeah, also what's weird, yeah, well, sad as well, just before I started setting things up for recording, Michael Gambon has passed away, for those who don't know. Yeah, it was only announced, I think, a couple of hours ago or something like that. But yeah, Michael Gambon, obviously, probably most famous for playing Dumbledore through Harry Potter's Goblet of Fire, through, well, the rest of the franchise. Passed away today, and obviously in Doctor Who he played Scrooge, although he wasn't called that, but he essentially was. But yeah, he died today, aged 82. And age 82, so he did live a canny age. He did live a canny age. So, but yeah, it just seems more and more bloody deaths on that every day. So, yeah. There's going to be various like talking points that throughout this stream. I'm going to talk about Aldebar and my theories on what has happened and why it's happened. With what's been happening with him and that recently, and that, and yeah, I've just been more of a general chat. I haven't really got, other than that, I haven't really got anything to think of and say, and that. But people seem to enjoy these live streams, so I thought, while I've got the spare time and while I've got the opportunity, might as well do another. So yeah, as I said, you want to comment, ask anything, say literally absolutely anything, and I do mean anything. You can comment that, and I will hopefully answer it. So yeah, I think that's giving people enough time to get in. So I think I'll start with the Aldebar thing. I think just to get that out there and that as quick as possible. Oh, there's an Ian Levine thing I'll probably show in that possibly as well. Did I show that last time? Can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, knock on wood. Oh, glass in that case. So with Aldebar, obviously he did his apology letter, but it seemed like a very fake apology letter to Ian O'Brien, who, if you don't know who he is, he came second in having the Guinness Book of World Records for the most amount of Doctor Who stuff. The person who actually does, I can't remember her name, but she's not very old. At least she wasn't at the time when she got the record, because the main thing that got her the record over Ian was the amount she had tons of magazines, tons and tons of magazines, particularly the Doctor Who Adventures ones, which is why she won, because basically, and this is again a weird thing with the Guinness Book of World Records. For example, the most amount of Daleks, and also if the most amount of Doctor Who merchandise. Basically, if you want to claim you have the most amount of something, at least when it comes to merchandise, whether that be Doctor Who or whatever, each piece of merchandise has to be unique. Alright, so for example, I've got quite a few Genesis Daleks. I've got quite a few of them. Unfortunately, basically, well, in terms of, yeah, in terms of like a two pack, these would only, these would count as two separate ones, but as in having multiple packs of them. For example, if you had the Revelation set, no matter how many of those you got from B&M, in the Guinness Book of World Records eyes, that only counts as one Dalek. So, but anyway, that's enough of an explanation on that. So basically, he has a massive amount of stuff, and he was at some point, I believe, being sent the B&M sets directly from Aldebar, and he'd been in contact with him for quite a while. However, at some point, he just didn't seem Aldebar just didn't seem to speak to him that much on that anymore, and I don't know if he stopped getting the sets or not. I could be wrong on that. I'm not. I'd have to double check and take everything I'm saying, by the way, here with a pinch of salt, because again, we'll see. But anyway, so basically, Aldebar, I'll start again. So Ian was reporting on the leaked news of the Inferno sect, and Aldebar blamed Ian for that sect essentially being cancelled as the reason why, even though that wouldn't be the case, because it was far too far. It was meant to come out in October, so it was far too far in production on that for something like that to happen if it was the case. Plus, then it came out also, apparently Aldebar himself, months ago at a convention, was just telling people. He was just telling people. You could walk up to him and ask him, and he would just tell you. So he was the one who initially leaked the stuff, and it's not the first. Aldebar's leaked stuff himself before. So, yeah. What could have happened here? Well, basically, either Aldebar has leaked it and he wasn't supposed to, and at least leak that information that early, and that is the actual true reason why it got cancelled, or more likely it's option 2, in that there is probably some production issues with stuff, meaning that they were unable to do that Inferno set for whatever reason, and basically, since he'd already told he told all these people at a convention that it was happening, and also word was spreading around this, and people were, getting hyped up on that for it. Well, it's very easy to just use Ian as a scapegoat for that, and that's basically what he was used for. But then, obviously, he clearly thought he'd just get away with that. We're just saying that on a forum. The problem is that those forum posts got sent around quite a bit, and then a lot of people started looking at this and going, "Well, why are you saying, Aldebar, why are you blaming Ian? Why is it his fault?" And then Ian said he was going to report it to Character Options because of the way Aldebar had been, treating him and that. And then only after that did Aldebar send out an apology letter. Only after that. Which was basically, I think, to cover himself and that as much well. But it was only after then. Yeah, it wasn't... Yeah, it was literally only after that. It wasn't very long after that happened. So, yeah, it's just a whole... Basically, Aldebar used him as a scapegoat for something. Whether it was production issues or something else. But the information wouldn't have gotten out there if Aldebar hadn't have told anyone. But he does. But then he gets annoyed when other people leak the information that he leaked to them. So yeah, because it's not like with previous sects where basically it's someone at the factory or someone who's got something leaks a picture of it or information like that on a database. No. This was Aldebar himself doing this, because again, this was at the very early on in the planning stages. So yeah. basically, that was Aldevar doing that, and the way he is, I'm hoping this is going to be a wake up call for him, because it just kind of shows, because this isn't an isolated incident, but this is like the one that's really blown up. But it just shows, basically how petty and pathetic and that he can be about things, because oh, you leaked this, oh, because it could be a case of he went really petty and went, oh, well, you leaked this, well, I'm not doing this now, type thing, because he has done something similar in the past. Who remembers the Castrovalva set that was later changed to the Visitation set? The set itself did not change at all. He just changed the name. He just changed the name of what story it was from. And why? Because that information had previously been leaked and gone out there. So he could just do the, ha, you thought it was going to be this? Well, no, it's actually this. And it's that type of thing. That just makes me think, oh God, why Aldebar? Why? Oh, my nose is fucking itchy. It just really, I don't know. I think the biggest problem with Aldebar now is he is a one-man band. He is completely solo. For example, basically, it's just him on his own right now. But in the past, he had several other people, and that basically, either working for him or who were commission-based and that, who basically, for example, the Daleks, this Dalek here, look at this lovely Genesis Dalek here. A lot of this is not Aldebar's work. This is, these newer slats and that are. But basically, a lot of this was a combination effort. For example, PB Props. He is mostly, PB Props is responsible for quite a few of characters' things. Like, for example, the revised NSD Dalek design, the later one that came out, the classic Sonic Screwdrivers, all of the classic series TARDISes, in terms of, apart from the roofs of them. But, yeah, it was just a lot of stuff like that. Not just him, but other people as well. A guy who worked for Product Enterprise, who worked on the Fourth Doctor that Product Enterprise released, also worked on the original Fourth Doctor release that Character Options released, which is why the head sculpts are so similar in that to each other, because it literally was the same person. And look what happened with the Terror of the Zygon set, where there was a perfectly good Terror of the Zygon's Fourth Doctor prototype that exists. It existed, and they scaled the mugs for it, but Aldebar decided, nah, I'm going to do my own, and it's going to be much worse. So, yeah, you can just see, like, stuff like that, and I'm glad a lot of people are finally realising this, because for years and years, he just got blind praise from people. Not just the people he sent the sets to, but, just generally people who were just buying them in the first place, just blindly praising them regardless. And I still do like the sex. I still do like a lot of the sex and that, particularly the Daleks. But there's a difference between just blind praise and still liking something but having, criticisms or improvements and that. So, yeah, but, I'm hoping something is going to be done. I'm hoping something is going to be done about this, or maybe Aldebar's bosses and that will actually, maybe have a word with him, or maybe there'll be a bit of self reflection on that with it, because at the end of the day, I know there's quite a few people messaging me saying I'm not buying the sets and that anymore because of basically because of stuff, there's nothing that they want in the sets, or if there are sets that they want, there's just too many inaccuracies or too many things wrong with them. Which obviously means sales go down. Now, it hasn't affected Dalek sales, but it has affected the repacks, and this year is the first time we're finally, because I've been seeing this for years. Now, ever since the Dalek sets, first started showing up at B&M, properly, year after year, and that's basically, if the 3-packs didn't start selling well, then B&M could just abandon them completely, or strip them down, which is exactly what they've done now. I've literally been saying for years that they're going to start doubling down on the Dalek sets and foregoing the 3-packs, which, yeah, this is exactly what has happened. They doubled their order of Dalek sets and decided, okay, we'll do a TARDIS set because they still sell pretty well. And, maybe there was something else on the cards, but Alderar maybe convinced them to do one 3-pack, which is why we're just getting one. Because I can very much imagine B&M, were more than happy to just forego the 3-packs entirely and just go with Dalek sets because, well, they're the big money makers. And I know some people are sick of Dalek sets. I know there are some people out there, but as a business, because that's what it is. This is a business. You cannot argue with that. They sell exponentially. They sell incredibly quickly. I mean, just take a look. Despite having double the amount, which has made it easier for people to get them, they have still been selling out very, very quickly. An exponential rate. So, yeah. But anyway, so, yeah. It is just what it is, unfortunately. And, some people are saying, oh, Alduar should lose his job or the license should go to someone else. I don't think that, because I think Alduar should be more open to suggestions, but also, like, he could very easily set up, like, a Facebook group or some sort of group where, he has people who know about these things, help him and work with him. Particularly, like, I don't know why he doesn't properly reach out to Dalek 63, the people who work at Dalek 6388, the people over there. Because, they could very much give it. I mean, it's on their website anyway to read. But, they could just talk to him and they'd be willing to do it for nothing, basically. Just give him a bit of advice on, or just give him some more information, just little stuff like that. There's tons of people out there. But, yeah, he just seems to skim through things and that on that, so, yeah. I'm going to have a look at the comments. I've had a big long rant there. Yeah, Alderaan does have a strange way of thinking. Bile, is it Bale? I don't know. Shiny Wags says, I'm glad people are finally starting to see how Alderaan actually is. Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know him personally as a person, but the way he portrays himself in interviews and in videos he's done himself, but then how he acts on these forums are completely different. Completely different. And that, because, a lot of the time he obviously has a different name on that, but people on these smaller forums know it's him. So I'd be more inclined to say he's probably more like he is on those small little forums and that, because he wasn't expecting this. He really wasn't expecting this, and he obviously had to quickly do some damage control on that on it. So, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And that, but to this day, I would still love to interview him. And I don't mean the way other people interview him. I mean, actually properly interview him. I mean, ask him the questions that these other people will not ask him, like, what the fuck happened with these Dalek X? Why have there been so many factory errors over the past few years? And, stuff like that. Just, simple stuff like that. Why was the 6th Doctor TARDIS non-electronic this year around? Yet the first Doctor one from last year was. Something as simple as that. Because that will probably have a very simple explanation. Cost, probably, but still, why did you not put the mesh on the Death Zone Dalek and the Revolution Necros Daleks? Why does it not have the oval? Why does it not have the pinched gun? Why does it have the completely wrong eye stalk? Why come you gave it the end of it like an orange tip, yet the Necros Dalek should also have that, but you didn't do it with them? Things like that. Why aren't they glossy? Why don't they not have a glossy finish where they really should? Stuff like that. People need to see who Six Sec really is. What do you mean, who I really am? I don't try to hide anything. I don't try to hide anything. And that, but, you know, and as I am as a person, I don't know, you'd have to ask people who know me what I'm really like. I mean, basically exactly as I am on here, essentially, because, again, I'm running a tiny YouTube channel in comparison. Going back, you're not worried about the figure line because you clearly do not buy them. Six Sec is an honest reviewer and doesn't suck CO off like Captain Jimmy Pie, Batman March, and the free review sample pets. Yeah, the thing is, though, I don't think Batman March actually does. The thing is, I think with Batman March is he seems either one of two things have happened with Batman March, because, you know, the way he reviews stuff now compared to how he used to, completely different. And when people have asked him about it, they said, "Oh, it's because I've gotten older." You know, which either one of two things: either one, he doesn't really care as much now as he used to, or two, he's very afraid of basically seeing anything that'll upset people or anything that may be a controversial opinion about anything that could be very much X, because they're very safe. They are very safe, very sanitized. Compared to his reviews from years back, you know, that today they're very much more sanitized today than they were before, and they're less of reviews as well. They're more of just describing what is in front of him. Like, this is the figure, this is the color of it, look at this detail. Type thing. It's less of a review, more of a showcase, to be honest, of the figures. Which is one of the reasons I do still watch them. It's not really for the review itself, is because his videos are generally the best way to get a good showcase of the figures, because the official Aldoar's official videos have, like, for some reason, have really poor video quality for some reason. I don't know why. Particularly the first few, which were in bloody 360p. Yeah, I know. But yeah. I mean, mate, I've got nothing to lose of that, and basically, I always say my opinion on that, regardless of what it is. There was one guy who was in the comments recently who said, "Oh, I used to like your videos when you just did the leaks on the Doctor Who sets, like you did with the first two history sets. But now that you've started reviewing the figures and that, you're just seeing negative. You're just being negative." And it's just like, have you watched my videos at all? I've been reviewing figures and saying negative things about them for years. The thing is, though, a lot of my earlier ones were much more positive. Look at my review of I think it's the 2017 Doctor Who Monster set. That one was great, fantastic. Look at the Day of the Daleks set, History of the Daleks set 5? I think that was. Which, again, that was positive. History of the Daleks 1 was generally positive. So, yeah, when he does good, I do, enjoy. I mean, I really like the Genesis of the Daleks set. I really do. The problem I had with it is he gave one of them the wrong bloody dome lights. And I know exactly why he's done that, is because he's looked at them at a publicity shoot, which was later on after Genesis of the Daleks. So in Genesis of the Daleks, none of the Daleks appear with these dome lights. Anyway, that's just a quick example. PB Props made the classic Dalek roof and prototypes. Actually, has the accurate 80s sign box. Yeah, I'm not talking about I'm talking about all the ones that have been released since. So I was talking about him basically making like he made that original. Basically, the Seventh Doctor's one is the one he did, and then after that, basically, Alduar did any of the new roofs and any other adjustments that happened after that. For example, I think because PB Props didn't have anything to do with the original Fourth Doctor TARDIS that was released, because PB Props himself was actually surprised at that, but then realised that they'd just be using the same sculpt. That's when he realised himself that they'd be just using the same sculpt over and over again, with just, changing the roof or minor changes and that here and there. 6 Sec needs a job. Yeah, are you offering? 6 Sec has a SAG life moaning about figures. Not really, because I enjoy doing it. So maybe SAG to you, but believe me, it brings me more enjoyment. Even moaned about the 14th Doctor not having a Sonic. Yeah, I did, and so did quite a lot of other people. But my main problem with it is that one is being made for the figure, which I am not able to get, and the vast majority of people are not able to get unless you happen to be at a convention and bumped into and went up to Alduar where he was giving them away. And it would have only been a limited number of them anyway. Because, no one knew that's what he was going to do there. And I'm surprised I haven't seen any on eBay. I'm surprised some people didn't go back or try and take another one just to sell it on eBay or something. I imagine probably someone has, but I don't know. Rob the Old Mongoose says, will you get season 6 next in the Blu-ray clip? Oh, will we get No. Unless they have found... Actually, no. Even more. Basically, season 6 will probably not be next. Especially if they found the space pirates, or the majority of it. Because if they've found the majority of it, then obviously, they want to try and get as much money back on it as possible, so they'll give it its own individual release, and then release it as part of the box sets. Plus also the want of release it on DVD in as many formats and that as possible, so yeah. I think a Baker season is the most likely season to be next, and the reason for that is because obviously before the season 20 box set, the last box set we had was season 9, so it's not going to be another Pertwee. And generally they do, for the most part, they do a 70s one, an 80s one, a 70s one, an 80s one. So yeah, I mean, because it's not going to be another Peter. They've done all of Colin, and they've only got one more McCoy to do. So yeah, they've nearly done all of the 80s. So yeah, and out of the 70s, it makes sense, to do another Baker one, whatever one that is going to be, basically. So yeah, hopefully season 13. But yeah, that is my best guess for what will come next. And obviously, season 20 was delayed a lot, though. It was delayed a lot. For example, most of the special features that were recorded for season 20 were recorded in late 2019 and early 2020. Yeah, some of the special features were recorded in January and very early February of 2020. So, yeah, that's how long. That's how long we've been waiting on that box set coming. Biosinks. Al versus Ian fight. Evidence has changed your mind, right? Okay. At Rome, the old mongoose. I hope as not there are still missing people, but still silly people like 6 Sec wants it. Huh? I don't know what they're talking about there. Anyway, Shiny says, I'd say 6-sec complaints are pretty valid, like the Death Zone Dalek is a piss poor excuse for not re-releasing the Resurrection set, and they have the accurate parts and that to paint to you. Right, yeah. Yeah, that is the thing that annoys me the most when literally, that's why, for example, I get so annoyed when we get a re-release of something and it's changed for no fucking reason and it's just made worse. Like, the parts exist for, like, especially when the parts exist for a figure, and, you know, you got the paints and everything right in that the first time around, or they exist anyway, and you fuck it up the second time. There's so many examples of that. Like the Sontarans. Those Sontaran B&M sets, apart from the Stike figure, all of the others got brand new repaints, and they were completely inaccurate. And also the Seventh Doctor's cream jacket being made basically white. And what was Aldebar's excuse? Oh, it's outside, so it looks brighter. Okay, you know what I do if I want to make the jacket on the figure look brighter? I take it outside. I can take it outside and, oh look, it looks brighter outside than it does look darker inside. Wow! Amazing! That's how fucking light works! And also the fact I'm still annoyed to this day, we still haven't got a Seventh Doctor with solemn face and hat. And also the lack of bloody accessories for the Doctors, especially the Seventh Doctor, no umbrella in ages. Ages. I think the last time the Seventh Doctor got an umbrella was that 13 Doctors box set. In fact, I think that was possibly the last time any of the Doctors got accessories, bar the 13th Doctor having a sonic screwdriver in the online exclusive and our own individual releases. So, yeah. Goldman says, 6-sec does not care about his fans, though he looks to comment. Look in the comics of the Coal Hill School set. Yeah, I'm not really bothered. I'm not really bothered. I'm going to say it right now. I'm not really bothered about, you know, my fans. I'm doing this because I want to say my opinion on something and get out there. I'm not trying to I don't really care about catering towards fans I may or may not have. I don't care. I really don't. I'm probably one of the only YouTubers who will just say it and admit, because I really don't. Because, one, I'm not, you know, I'm doing this completely for free and that, so I don't have any monetary gain and anything like that. You know, I just do what I want in a video and that because I want to. I don't care whether fans of me or who like my videos like it or not. I'll just do it because. Yeah. If a video is doing well in that, like the live stream, then I will try and capitalize on that, because as I said at the start of this live stream, people saying I like it, so I'll do more, because that does help build the channel and that, and get my opinion and that out there more, which is what I want. But that's my only primary concern, in that it's not to please people. It's not to just please people. Because if I wanted to do that, I'd make the most bland, boring, sanitized content out there. Because that seems to get the most amount of views. Six-Sec thinks he knows it. Six-Sec thinks he is a know-it-all. No, I'm not a know-it-all. But the things I do know about, I do know quite a lot about. Because I get obsessed in that about things. For example, I know absolutely nothing about cars or how to drive them or anything like that. I wouldn't know how to do taxes and stuff like that. So, any of those type of things. Like a lot of real life stuff. Yeah. Six-Sec, when he acts of his videos, is very different. Very different? I don't act any different in my videos. I act exactly the same. I know a lot of people are probably going to say I should be just skipping these troll comics, but I find them entertaining sometimes. No, I'm not a perv, Gordon Bennett. He keeps leaking his population. That one, I haven't done that in a while, but I have done that before. So I will say that one. Yeah, but that was a while ago. That Goldberg says because Six Sec, if you ask those questions in an interview, you are just bullying. Call it bullying. Call it what you like. I mean, if you call that bullying, then you have very, very thin skin. Because believe me, go back to my fucking high school. That was where you got bullied. Oh, yeah. That's why. That's why. Basically, I don't really give a shit what people say and that about me because that was the least of my concerns when I got bullied at school. The very least. What are your thoughts on the 60th anniversary trailer? Well, it has got me more excited for the 60th anniversary. It does look really good, and that I'm hoping it gets a cinema release. I'm hoping it is. The thing is, that was something I was thinking about. I don't think any of the episodes are actually going to air on the 60th itself because the 60th anniversary date, the 23rd of November, is actually on a Thursday. And I don't think the BBC are going to air any of the episodes on a Thursday. They might, but I doubt it. I don't know. I've got a feeling either they'll start airing them at the start of November or, towards the end of November. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And then obviously we have a Christmas special as well. So we've got 4 episodes and that this year to look forward to. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I will still hold a bit in that judgment, and I'm hoping there's going to be a bit more, to make it feel more like an anniversary special, because that's the only concern I've got is it doesn't feel so far from what we've seen, apart from the Celestial Toymaker, doesn't really feel like an anniversary special. More like it feels like an anniversary special for the RTD era. More specifically, the Series 4. It feels more like it's more of an anniversary of that than anything else. But supposedly that other Doctors and that will be appearing in it. At least the rumours say. And you've got to have a Dalek in there. Somewhere, you've got to have a Dalek in there. Just somewhere. Even, like, that was something Terrence Dicks insisted on, because originally, basically, GNT and the rest of the production team, didn't want to put a Dalek in the 5 Doctors, but Terrence Dicks insisted, look, it's the 20th anniversary special, you've got to have the Daleks and that in there somewhere. So yeah, even if it's just a short appearance like it was in that, and also the 50th anniversary special, just a small little appearance, just enough to say, look, there they are. Jamie King. Six Sec does not like new Doctor Who. He thinks it is too woke. Well, I hate the Jodie Whittaker era. And a lot of it is woke, if you want to use that word. But a lot of it's just shit writing, to be honest. Most of it is just shit writing. For the most part. I mean, because the rest of New Who, and that I do enjoy. Some series more than others. For example, I don't like Series 9 very much. I don't like Series 6 very much. But yeah. And the RTD era, I've seen that probably more than, I've probably seen Series 1 through 4 more than any other the new series. Zygon XD. There's a reason Batman March has this many subs, mate. Yeah, I know. But I think the thing is, though, Batman March basically is the very safe, sanitized YouTube channel now. It is now. It didn't used to be. It didn't used to be. And I miss Jonathan being on there because Jonathan doesn't give a shit. He'll say fucking anything, even to this day. It's a shame he's not on there very often now. Shiny Wag says, Alderaan just seems unprofessional. Like, why does every re-release have to be unique, varying like the Master Planet Supreme were fucked? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The reason it is because Alderaan does not like having duplicates in his collection. Basically, despite what he says, all of the figures that get released for the most part are just because Aldoir wants them in his collection or wants a version of them, but he hates having duplicates of things. That's why. That's the honest to God reason why. Because he said it himself that he hates having duplicates and that in it. That's why he makes change that to him. I think that was one of the interviews Batman March did with him. Bile says the latest version of the Day Supreme is probably the most accurate Dalek figure made. I wouldn't say that. I'd say that probably the most accurate Dalek figures made is probably the modern NSD ones, the revised sculpt ones, and probably also the Paradigms, and that as well. And one of the reasons for that is they were able to scan the actual props. That's something they actually, and take more. There was a lot more reference material, which is why they ended up the way they did. So, yeah, because they still have. If you want it 100% accurate, it still has problems here and there, but still very much close enough. The gunmetal grey drawing was pretty nice. Yeah, now there's only a gunmetal grey in Day of the Daleks, not Planet, because if you go on Dalek 6388 and read the bit for Frontier in Space, one of the first lines in there, I think it might be the first line. I did a separate video on this, but the first line is that the gunmetal grey by this point was resprayed grey, whatever shade of grey in that it was, to match the other Daleks by this point, and being repainted by that point after Day of the Daleks. Before Frontiering Space and before Planet of the Daleks, so there is no gunmetal grey. It is just people thinking it looks like that due to lighting, but there isn't. It doesn't look like that. Hinged Dome. Yeah, we've had the gunmetal grey. We don't need another. There's only ever been one gunmetal grey, and that is the one in Day of the Daleks. It shouldn't have been in Planet of the Daleks because, again, no, then we'll go metal grey in that. The colour is completely off for that. Oh, gosh, I brought a drink with me. Why are you moaning about your fangs when they talk about your content? Because I'm moaning about whatever the fuck I'm moaning about. I enjoy it. 6 seconds unprofessional too. Why do you suck up to him? Of course I'm unprofessional. I have never claimed to be a professional. This channel is not professional. The way I'm doing this stream right now is not professional. It's literally it's my old tablet. It's my old tablet. Literally just propped up on a kickstand. That's all this is. It's not a big professional thing with professional microphones and that. I will say the camera I normally use for most of my videos, while it's not a professional, it's not just using my phone. Although saying that, if you don't use your phone for your videos, and you've got nothing else, use your phone because it's surprisingly good quality. I was surprised how good the audio came out on the chat that me and some boy online had. I did have to do some alterations to the leveling on that of it, but it came out pretty well. But yeah, professional? No. No. Anything but. Yeah, 6 seconds not care by sight. I know. I don't know my fans. I don't. They're just a number on the screen. And that again, I do these videos because I want to. Because I did these videos for years and got fuck all views, like literally none in a lot of cases. But I still did them anyway, I still continued. So again, yeah, if you want proof, there you go. Doctor Who, Mamma Mia, nice to see you mentioned me. Oh, it's Ian. It's Ian. I think, yeah, is that Ian? I think that's Ian. I think I recognise the ID. So yeah, but yeah, nice to see seeing that you're here. But yeah, in terms of the Inferno set, I think I don't know if you missed that bit, but either one of two things have happened. Either there's been a fuck up in the production, which is very possible, and Aldra's blamed it on you as a scapegoat, or what's possibly happened is since he leaked the information initially himself to people, and then it got trickled out and down time, then maybe something happened has happened there. I imagine it's more the production issue as well, because when all they've got the rights to Pertwee, they'll have the rights and that as well to the Primords. I can't imagine there being any problem with Liz Shaw. I can't imagine, because I don't know if she has her own estate or not, and if not, it would be Jeffrey Beavers and that as well who could give and that permission, because again, he probably would. And there was also, I think there was Liz Shaw at Eagle Moss figures. I can't remember off the top of my head. And that, yeah. Part of me regrets not getting those Eagle Moss, all those Eagle Moss figures, although part of me's glad I didn't either. Because I mean, I do just like articulated figures and that as well. And if you're gonna collect a line and that, I mean, just financially and that, it's just a lot cheaper and that. Well, not cheaper, but more financially economic to just stick to one line rather than multiple lines of figures. But yeah, my question is just like, what will the next online exclusive be if the Inferno set has fell through? What is there going to be a set that comes out in October? Is there going to be a set that comes out in between the two sets, the two lots of B&M sets? Because obviously it's meant to be November time, where the next wave of B&M sets will come out, which is going to be the first of the new series Dalek sets, which is going to be Dalek Sec and a Bronze Dalek. And then we're going to have the 3-pack, which is going to be the Fourth Doctor in Time Lord attire, the Time Lord President, and Chancellor Goth, which I imagine, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I imagine it's just going to be the same figure 3 times with different heads and maybe different collars. But yeah, I'll also be disappointed if we don't get a Sash and Rod of Rassilon with it. But yeah, only Aldebar, though, can think this in his head to say, Deadly Assassin set, what's that famous for? Decade Master? Nah, I know, the President who gets shot at the end of part 1, who has, I think, yeah, he has 2 lines. 2 lines, he goes, I have it here, and then he says, oh, that there's a name in here that'll surprise them. And that's it, he gets shot after that. Yeah, it's like only Aldebar could think, let's do an Earthshock set, but with no Cybermen. Only he could think that. Only he could think, let's do an Earthshock set with no Cybermen in it. Which, yeah, I still don't know why to this day, because, if it was for me, if I was to redo the Earthshock set, I would have it be the Cyber Leader and a regular Cyberman and, one android. Because again, it's not like, you have the taller one and the shorter one. They're both exactly the same. They're using the Axon Man body. So, you want more, just buy a couple. There you go. But yeah, I mean, true, we did finally get a Cyber Leader with those 5 Doctor Six, but to this day, I'm convinced that was a last minute, very last minute decision. Because it was only after the initial leaks where people were going, well, where's the Cyber Leader? Where's the Cyber Leader? Why is there no Cybermen? And only half of the amount of sex had the Cyber Leader in them. Which, depending on where you lived, what sex you got. I was one of the lucky people who my B&Ms, pretty much all the B&Ms in my area, had both of them. They had both of them. They had the Cyber Leader and the regular Cyberman one. Which was also, it was good if you missed out on the 2017 Monster set, because essentially that was a way to get that version of a regular Cyberman, and also for the first time get a Cyber Leader and that from the 5 Doctors, Attack of the Cybermen and that. But we still haven't had an Earthshock one. We still haven't had a Cyber Controller in that as well, which again, I mean from Attack of the Cybermen, basically, because that one, again, pretty easy one to do. Pretty straightforward one to do. I mean, there's a weird thing of Algamar complaining there's not the budget to do this, but there is the budget to do that. It's just like, it just kind of baffles me about things where it's just like, suddenly there is a budget to do new head sculpts, but then Algamar saying there isn't the money to do new head sculpts. I don't know. I mean, when he was asked about that Wheeling Space Cyberman in an interview, he said, we couldn't afford to do a new figure like that, even though prototypes of it exist, which means the molds for it exist somewhere. So, why have we not had that to this day? No idea. Why haven't we had a Revenge Cyberman re-release? Because I've only got the one set. I seriously regret not getting another. Because I remember, I think it went down to like 10, maybe £15 at My Forbidden Planet. Like, there was one in My Forbidden Planet that was sat on the very top shelf of the store, and it sat there for years. It sat there for years at the top shelf. And that, obviously now I would buy it, but at the time, I didn't really have the money, and that if I did buy that, it would mean I wouldn't be able to afford other stuff. I'm surprised I got as many of those Forbidden Planet sets as I did, to be honest, of how expensive they are. Like, people have their problems with them being released at B&M, but, B&M, if you can give them anything, it keeps the prices down. It keeps the prices down. If they were still released at Forbidden Planet, which, by the way, Forbidden Planet had an awful time of getting them in the stores. Like, I remember a lot of the time it would take them forever and a day to get them in the stores. Like, which sometimes is a plus, sometimes was a plus. For example, recently, that was how I was able to get the standard edition of the 14th Doctor Sonic. Even though they were completely sold out online, the store still got its stock way after the fact. So, yeah. But, yeah, just stuff like that's just a bit weird and that. So, at least with B&M, it's the closest thing we've got to a retail release. And that's just because one B&M order a lot of them, because, and there's a lot of stores in that as well. So, yeah. But I guess it just depends where you live. Because, again, if you live in the north of England, great. Fantastic, because north of England, whether in the northeast or the northwest, tons of B&Ms. Tons of B&Ms to the eye can see. Whereas, if you live down south or in certain places in Scotland, if you live further up north in Scotland, then you've got less options. You've got less options, which is unfortunate. By saying that, though, the counter-argument to that is when there is so many stores, it doesn't mean there's more options a lot of the time. Because a lot of stores, I do skip. For example, North Shields and Whitley B. I completely skip the B&Ms there because they never ever get any of the sets. Like, I'm talking about zero, none. The last lot of stuff that those stores got were the Dalek bobbleheads, and that's all they got. And weirdly, they may be actually B&M might be recalling them because one of the B&Ms I went to, which is in my B&M crawl, was actually taking them off the shelf. They were taking them off the shelves because they were. And when I asked why, it's because they'd been taking up so much space in that for so long. So what they were doing was sending them back to the distribution warehouse, and the bloke said either they might be sent to other B&Ms who are needing them, or it could be a case of they're getting sold to someone else. Most likely Forbidden Planet or Sci-Fi Collector are going to buy up this extra stock. So if you want any of the Dalek bobbleheads, the Big Chief Studio ones, because we're not going to get any more of them, whether you want the big ones or the small ones, get to your B&M now and get them, basically, because they're not going to get any cheaper. So, yeah, if you're considering them, I mean, plus, you could chuck them as a Christmas gift for someone. I think if you gave them someone a Christmas gift who's a Doctor Who fan, I don't think any of them are going to be annoyed in that by it. Shiny Wedge says, is anyone else worried about the 60th anniversary just going to be a trashy 10th Doctor and Donna RTD nostalgia bait? I'm not worried about it being that. To be honest, if it's still, good writing, still good quality in that, then I will still enjoy it. But part of me will still be disappointed and slightly annoyed if it isn't more of an anniversary. Like the 50th didn't really feel like an anniversary of 50 years of Doctor Who. It felt more like an anniversary of the new series more than anything else, and this one is kind of more the same. And it's weird as well how little stuff we're getting out of it this time. Because for the 50th we had the 5-ish Doctors, we had an adventure in space and time, we had all this other stuff. We had the British Icon Dalek, which wasn't radio controlled, even though it cost bloody more than the radio controlled ones did. Yeah. Which there was no excuse for, because in 2013, this same year, the British Icon Dalek came out. We had the Toys R Us exclusive radio-controlled Asylum Dalek, which was £40. And we had the B&M exclusive Strategist, which was £30. Actually, no, it was the Supreme Dalek. It was the Supreme Dalek. It was £30 there. Initially, it came out at Very as well, and it was £60 at Very, but they very quickly, within a week, I think, they dropped their price to £30 to match B&M. But that British Icon Dalek, without any radio control capability, £50. That was its initial retail price. I think I got mine for possibly 40. It might have been 50, I don't know. I've still got it, actually, somewhere. It's in storage somewhere, in one of those storage boxes, yeah. And, yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things, cheaping out on the paint not going all the way around the back, like that, the Union Jack not going all the way around the back, just like, why? But yeah, didn't have anything like that. I wonder who has the prototype American Icon Dalek, because there was a prototype one that was meant to come out, but then got cancelled again while the prototypes of it got auctioned off, I believe. I don't know who has that. If you have that, please let me know. Biolobeel says, I like the Doctor Who DVDs. They have reversible covers if you prefer the round design feature that goes back to to around 2010 when the BBC logo changed to the purple version after the Wild logo. Okay. I mean, I'm not too fussed. I mean, one, I don't buy the DVDs anymore. I haven't done for years. But they do have that on the Blu-rays, which is really weird. Because some of the Blu-rays have it and some of them don't. Yeah, but all the animated ones seem to have it. But yeah, I tend to buy the scale books of those anyway. But yeah, it is nice that they did continue to do that. It is nice that they did continue to do that so that they would all match up. Kind of. Because the shades of grey that they use... I'm not talking about the boxes for a second here. The shades of grey that they use on where they put the logo and stuff on there, where the roundels are, does vary a little bit between one to one. It's also the case on the Blu-ray sets. They've got two classic series Blu-ray sets. None of them are the same shade on the back, on the spines. They're all different shades from each other. So it means none of them perfectly line up. Yeah. Hey, Armand27. Dr. Dalek Mania. Look, I wasn't wrong when I said... I wasn't wrong when I said you complained about the newer releases. That includes the New Zealand 20 box sets that you bitched about just because you didn't get a full refund for replacement. No, that wasn't why I was bitching about them. That wasn't why I was bitching about them. The reason I was bitching about Zavi wasn't because of that. Because all I wanted to do was send it back for a replacement. You'd think that'd be simple, but no, that never ended up happening. And basically, Zavi continuously ignored my messages. And my main concern was also I had a scratch disc that would not play. Disc 8, which has the 40th anniversary version of the Five Doctors on there. And I just would not play properly. Yeah. It would get up to... Basically, I think it would get up to the menu, but then when I think it was just under 5 minutes into the episode, we'll just stop there. We'll come up with a read error after that. And I couldn't... I tried ripping it as well. Couldn't rip it. But yeah. But what happened with that is... I'm happy I got some money in that back from it. I'm actually happy I did get some money back from it because of the bloody nightmare with Zavi and that. But yeah, that was a whole separate thing, which I did a whole separate video on that, but I won't go into that again now because I'm bloody sick of talking about it. Shinywork says, if you redesign the Daleks, what would you change them? Because everyone thinks they're going to be new Dalek signs. That's the thing. I wouldn't change them. Why do people want to change them? Like, Dalek... Unlike the Sidemen, Daleks are a classic design. It's a classic silhouette and that. Like, if you mess with it too much... Like, look at the Chibnall Daleks. That's what happens when you mess with the design too much. That's why, you know, people did not take to the paradigms. I know some people are starting to like them now. And that I've never liked them. And that's... But... Like, I don't like it when you mess with a classic design and that. There's remaining this, you know, very minor changes in that, and they're being very... I mean, in the classic series, it was because they were using the same short craft props that lasted all the way up until the end. Yeah, short craft props lasted until Remembrance of the Daleks. Admittedly, in Remembrance of the Daleks, literally... It's a very brief cameo appearance because most of them are the newer Necros ones, just repainted. And obviously in Revelation, they only appear very briefly, but still, that is one of the reasons why. Drawing Jackrabbit, I think we seriously all need to come together and protest against Al. And if he won't listen, he needs to be reassigned or let's go. Okay? Yeah, whenever I see Aldebar in the comment, that's just like, or people just using his first name, like, it takes me a second because I just think, wait, AI? Because that's what it looks like. Yeah. Shiny Wedge says, let's try and get PB props back in CO. So, no, PB prop, he won't get PB props back. Because him and Aldebar, I don't think they didn't have a falling out, but Aldebar hasn't spoke to him in years, according to PB props. Yeah. Plus, PB props was basically someone freelance commissioned by them, so he didn't technically work for them. He's just a freelancer. So, anyways, 1 to 5 and 72 were going metal and planet, but the other short cross were great. What? Dark 60 isn't 100% reliable, like they said. There was Gunmetal Grey in Genesis of the Galaxy on their website. No, there wasn't. There wasn't. You can look at Genesis of the Daleks yourself. There isn't Gunmetal Grey in any story apart from Day of the Daleks. Is the only story. Like in bloody Genesis of the Daleks, all the Daleks were repainted, and they were all repainted the same colour. Because previously they'd all been silver. They'd all been silver in their Desk of the Daleks design. The reason they were repainted back to grey is because of the director didn't like the silver. He wanted them back to the grey. That is why. David Maloney liked the grey look and thought it suited better, which is why they were repainted back to grey. You're not Ian, okay. That makes sense. Then who are you then if you're not Ian? If you're not Ian, Dr. Dalek Mania, who are you? Because I did speak to Ian. I did actually speak to Ian. I did see my video a couple of times, but yeah, I don't know. He doesn't really post that much information on that. I would love to see more information about it. Oh, I'm gonna change the orientation to this side because it's bloody kinking my neck, constantly turning to one side to look at those comments and the camera and that. Shiny Weg says, also kind of funny how the Goon Free, like Genesis, Grey Dark, and Jessica, yes, I know. Top half was never painted to members of the Daleks and seeing the same playing the Daleks. They could do an Ice Lord at B&M if they used the... Oh god, not the bloody axe on man body. Dr. Garmy, I might should get a lot of the Cyberlia sex sent over to B&M Micro. Okay, I'm assuming you're in the US, I think. Bagwell 4. There was a prototype of CUC 10th Doctor. What? Prototype CUC 10th Doctor Culpt. I'm assuming that's meant to be sculpt rather than culpt mould that must exist, but the photos are gone. I can't find them. 10th. Do you mean the one that had the ball jointed arms? I'm assuming that's what you're on about. Cornback says 6 sec. Sometimes you have a big budget, other times you don't. That's how money works. Yes, but the budget is consistent with the P&M sex. You can't suddenly go from okay, big budget, just like okay, here's I don't know, £10,000 is the budget, and then the next year you go, this time when you go, I'll give you 3,000. Nah, like it may be, more or less than that each year, but it's not gonna be dramatic amounts considering it's a year-on-year consistency and the same amount of sets. And if Alduar was more transparent about things as well, that would help. Because the problem is he's not. He's not transparent about things. So, which is why you've got to try and, read between the lines a lot of the time with him. Shinywag says, the proportions of the Moomies Tombstone Men head are way off. It's like the jaw is too flat and the mouth is too big. And the handles aren't wrong. If you're talking about the handles being clear, they're not. Because the longest time people are saying it's not. The Tomb Cyberman is pretty damn good for what it is. Like, to be honest, yeah. I don't know where this has come from, that it's way off and way inaccurate. Because it's really not, and do not say that to him because, God, he will fuck it up to no end. Yeah, Tombstone Man, really good figure, really good figure. Whoop. Six should respect his fans to help make his channel bigger. I'm not bothered about making my channel bigger. So, yeah. Doesn't mean I'm going to deliberately disrespect my fans, it's just I don't care either way. Banner says, my B&M's got Evil, Planet and David Bradley sets. Okay. Ooh, this is someone new. HAR1S1234A. I'm just, for any further comments, I'm just going to refer to you as HAR. Would you... God, will this comment section stop bloody disappearing? Would you... Who would you prefer as the next Doctor? Shooty, Andrew Tatum... I don't know who those people are, so I couldn't comment. Joe and Jack Rabbit. It's because they know that Doctor Who will never have the cultural relevance it had at the 50th. Well, the thing is, no, because Doctor Who stuff was dropping before the 50th. Like, its cultural impact was still dropping, and that's, if that's the case, then surely you want to put as much as you can into it to entice people in. The whole point is you try and entice people in. They won't be doing this Disney deal or trying to basically encourage as many people to try and reclaim it after the disaster of the Chibnall era. So it's not like you do less, you do more, if anything, to try and bring people back in. Well, that RTD will save or not, I don't know. Hugh Jass is going to be in the next special, okay. Yeah, so who cares? There you go. Because I don't know you. You don't know me. Shinewag says, if they're going to bring back... they should bring back the Necros Dalek proportions. They do look pretty nice. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about change the Dalek, do this, change that. Because Six Sec is rude to us and does not respect us. And you live in Ireland. I'm assuming mainland Ireland because Northern Ireland does have B&Ms that did get them in, where a certain individual who did a naughty is currently awaiting his you know what. Hello, Mr. Valeska. I'm the guy who commented on your video the last year you were giving out. I'm the guy who commented in your last video the last day that you were going out about. Okay. Comeback says, if Sixsec does not care about his fans, then he gets less views and his options will not be known as much. His opinions. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'll still make the videos and I'll still do them regardless. Like, basically, you know, having people who are fans of your videos and videos getting more views is just a bonus for me. It is not the sole driver. For me, it's making the videos, doing the videos. And that, getting my opinion that out there on these sects. That is the main and only goal of these. So anything else and that on top of that is just a bonus. So, yeah, that's why, you know, generally I don't tend to jump on just like the trends of, oh, a theory about this, a theory about what's going to happen and that, you know, because if I was to do that, I could do that from the cows come home, but that's something I'm not interested in and don't want to do, so I'm not going to do it. I only do basically stuff that I want to do personally. And whether people like it, great. If they don't, tough shit. I think the Celestial Joint Maker will use... I thought I was going to be... I'll use AI to defeat the Doctor in the new... Oh, God. I'm so sick of AI being the villain in fucking everything now. Because it is getting boring as hell. It's just the latest trend. It's just the latest fucking trend. Like, you know, we had multiverses and that being the trend. Now the trend is fucking AI at fucking everything. And I know we've had that in the past and that before, but God, the extent we've had it now, it just gets boring. It's freedom of speech and everyone has their own opinion they get to use. Well said. Sixsec just bullies. Again, if you think what I do is bullying, yeah, no. No, because the thing is, if you don't like my videos, and you don't like what I say, you just don't watch them. I know, and then you need never hear nor see from me again. It's that simple. It's that simple. Like, if I'm watching a TV show I don't like, I turn it off. And I'll go watch something else. I don't try and get the show cancelled because I didn't like it or it offended me in some way. I will still complain about it, though. If there was something there that I thought could be improved on, I can still complain on that about it. But, yeah. Mr. Valeska, to be honest, Sixsec has a good mindset when it comes to making videos. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a lot of YouTubers can't help the mindset, because if it was your solo career and that was your job and that, you know, I don't blame people for doing that. I do not blame people for doing that. But I don't think there's a single, like, Doctor Who YouTuber out there, as in a single Doctor Who YouTuber who's just like, you know, that is their sole content, who is basically able to purely live off YouTube earnings. Shinywork says, what rare figures do you want to see re-released at B&M the most? For me, personally, I would like to see Let's see. Well, let's see. I would like to see the Challenge of Wang Chiang set re-released. The original one, the first one. The 2008 one. I'd like that to see re-released. Other than that, Emperor Davros, really want Emperor Davros to have a re-release. I'm hoping it does next year, because apparently the molds and that were found for it this year, so hoping that gets released next year. Other than that, rare figures. I was hoping we'd get a re-release of the Father's Day Ninth Doctor with the green jumper and the arrow. I was hoping that would happen last year, but nope. Instead, we got a pointless new head sculpt and new jacket sculpt. Why? Like, that's another thing, is because, like, when Alduar wastes the money of the budget, like, you had some budget there, you put it towards making a worse version of the Ninth Doctor's jacket and a worse version of the head sculpt. Why? Why? Go on, mate, sir. So if nobody watches your videos, you don't care, as you don't care about your fans. If no one watches your videos, then your opinions won't be known, so it will make no sense. So what? I did videos for years and fuck all people watched them. Like, I got basically, my average was like 5 to 7 views for years. Years, people. Like, I'm not joking. It took me, I think it took me a decade to reach like 300 subscribers. I'm not joking. Yeah, it took me years to reach that, and the channel's bloody, from my point of view, has exploded and that since then. But yeah. The thing is, though, the more Alduar fucks up, the better the channel does. I've found the more Alduar fucks up, the better the channel does. I've found. So, yeah, but I don't want it to be the case. I'd much rather have the better figures. Because, you know, this channel isn't benefiting me financially, and I'd make the reviews and videos regardless. So, yeah, I'd rather have the better figures. Shiny Wedge. AI isn't a threat like people think it is. Like it actually is dumb like Uber Eats. Yeah. I mean, people think, like, for example, people think AI is going to do all the reconstructions of Doctor Who now. Have you seen people who have made the tests on them? They look shit. AI is not there yet. Nowhere near. Will it be one day? Probably. But it's not there now. Nowhere fucking near there. Six-Sec, let's talk about the time I wanted you about your channel being hacked and a scammer came to you and you did not thank me. What? I don't know what one about here. Six-Sec, also in the video, Six-Sec is controlled by... is that controlled by AI or is it controlled by Al? Or Aldebar? Because neither of which are true. Six-Sec, do you have a circle? Do you think that a circle should have corners? Well, no, because then it wouldn't be a fucking circle. Shiny Wish says, they should re-release Anthony Ainley Mask. Oh yeah, I've forgotten about that. But people say there are legal problems and they can't re-release it. Now, there was some legal problems, but the thing is, though, then you've got Eagle Moss to argue with. Like, Eagle Moss released an Anthony Ainley master figure, and there was no problems there. So yeah, that kind of makes me think: is that another Alduartism? I don't know. Six sec, Miss Valessa, six sec. Do we need more pure historical episodes in Doctor Who? No. Is it? I mean, I'm not a fan of pure historicals. I generally find most of them boring. So, for me personally, no. Beale or Bile or whatever. I always say that every single time. You were born in the early 2000s, so growing up, I missed a lot of the original figure releases, so there are another reason to go to B&M. Yeah. I mean, seeing that my brother was born in 2004, he was able to get a lot of them, although that was purely because I was getting them and he wanted them as well. So, yeah. Would he have gotten them otherwise? Probably not. He didn't get any of this year's lot, and he's not going to from now on. Why? Because, basically because my brother did not just, for the past few years, my brother just got the B&M sets to keep him and then sell them at a later date. The problem is he didn't keep them in very good condition. So when he tried to sell them, he wouldn't sell them for very much. So yeah, now he's not bothering anymore with that. Why are you so obsessed with figures? Because I like having the figures. They bring me joy. I just like them. You know, it's called being a collector. I don't think John Sim is the best master. I think the best one was Roger Delgado, which unfortunately that isn't possible for him to come back. Anyway. I don't think Missy is the worst. I honestly don't think... I think Missy had some of the worst writing, but I don't think she is the worst. Like, in the latest Doctor Who Once Upon a Future release, she is definitely the highlight. We need more sci-fi historicals like Horrifying Rock. Bring back the gothic horror style. Yeah, I don't think that would be a thing, especially with RTD. Because his was one of the first things from gothic horror, though. Hopefully with RTD, though, we'll actually get, some stakes again of people dying. Well, not just people dying, but people we care about dying. Because RTD was good at that. He was good at that. Six Sec, you're obsessed with the figures, yet you moan and moan about them. Yeah, well, if I didn't love them, I wouldn't moan about them so much. Because it's pointless moaning about something you don't care about. Which is why, for example, I don't go on and on about moaning about, for example, the Funko Pops, because I don't buy them. I don't care about them. Lana says, I think more Renegade versus Imperial stories is a good idea. I don't know. I think they've kind of ran it into the ground a little bit. Thoughts on NECA figures, Armand 27. I do like NECA figures. I don't have very many of them. Jason Voice from Friday the 13th final chapter. Yeah. My brother's more into the NECA figures than I am. Not that I don't like them. It's just because they're bloody expensive and I can't bloody justify getting them all. Shiny Wag says, or show us more of the Movellan War. What happened between Resurrection and Destiny. Again, big finish. Big Finish fills in that gap a lot. So yeah. Mr. Velasco, Michael Myers and Chucky are the best horror characters. I think you would have to also throw in Freddy Krueger into that mix. I'm hoping we get, that at least that one more performance from Robert Englund, because, time is bloody ticking on that. I'm not talking about opportunity. I'm not talking about meeting the family. I mean opportunities to make it, because Robert Englund is getting on quite a bit now. He said he's got one more film of that in him, and he wants to do one more. So it's like, bloody get on it, New Line. Like, it's not a rights issue because you completely own the rights, New Line. Come on. Six Sec should say sorry to Captain Jimmy Pie. For what? Again, I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't spoken to me in fucking years, since 2019. The only people who keep bringing it up are you. Yeah. Anyway. Six Sec, who is the best Doctor Who reviewer? Stu Bagful. Where is Dr. Zero Who Zero? What, in terms of where he lives or what's he doing? I don't know. I know he got the latest lot of B&M sets. Yeah, he didn't review them. I think his job as an ambulance driver, so that may be why. I don't know. It's why he's able to afford a lot of the stuff he gets. But yeah, I know that was his job, I think, at one point. Did you get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? No, I've never seen any of the Guardians films. I'll have to see them one day. But yeah, I've never seen any of them. I thought it was pretty good. Don't get the hate. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 didn't get hate much. It's a 7 out of 10 film, maybe. Yeah. The last film I saw at the cinema was A Haunting of Venice, which is the third, possibly final in the latest Poirot trilogy. Oh, Doctor Who figure reviewer. I don't watch, apart from Batman March, I don't watch any other Doctor Who figure reviewers anymore. One, because a lot of them no longer exist. Like, who remembers Doctor Who snippets and mega shorts and that? Who remembers them? Obviously, there's that other YouTuber who isn't reviewing figures now for a very different reason. A very different reason. Yeah, I only watch Batman March's one because it's a good. He does a pretty good showcase of showing the figure off, so it's a good way to get a proper look at the figures and their packaging and that when they're officially announced. Yeah. Other than that, I don't watch any of them anymore. Six Sec needs some glasses. No, I don't. Actually, I've got really good eyesight, actually. Yeah, I have sunglasses. I've got a really itchy nose right now. Whenever I do a live stream, I always get an itchy nose. I don't know why. Have you seen Mono Supreme's figure reviews? I have seen some of his. I used to talk to Mono Supreme a few times, but I haven't spoken to him in a while. I haven't spoken to him in a while on that, and I did try messaging him a couple of times, and he completely has just blanked me. I don't know why. I do know something that I do know Mono Supreme has apparently spoken to Aldebar before, so I don't know if Aldebar has warned him off me. I don't know. Because I do know apparently people who associate with me or with other people who report on these leaks of the Doctor Who sets get blacklisted from Aldebar. Yeah. Which is why people like Anthony Fergan is blacklisted from Aldebar. Even though he's just reporting stuff that B&M gives him the information on, he is on an Aldebar blacklist. For the tweet I did, oh, that joke, yeah, from years ago. Nah, that was a funny joke. I did it to other people and they just laughed. Host Productions. Oh, God, Host Productions. God, I can't watch their videos because it is boring as fuck. Honestly, he takes so long. Like, it's like I'm watching the fucking audio descriptive version of a video because, Jesus Christ, he describes what you can see with your fucking eyes forever and a day and goes on and just everything in the very flat, monotone voice. Jesus Christ, it just bores me to tears. I mean, if you like that, then great, good for you, but for me, I just kind of get through his videos because I just get bored to tears. And the other person, Wee Smith, haven't seen their video, so I can't comment. Mr. Valeska says, Batman March's reviews feel too basic. That's because they are. Because they're not really reviews. Again, they're more, pardon me, of a product showcase. Yeah. I'm also just a bit disappointed that some boy online didn't take a look at the sex to review them. He kind of did in my video that I did. Fun fact as well, he took forever to do that video about the Shaun the Sheep statues in Newcastle. And that video came out the day before they took the statues away. Like, they posted it on the official X or Twitter page about his video, even though the very next day they took the statues away. Which, yeah. And he missed so many of them. Like, so many of them. It's just like, I don't know how he managed to miss some of them. And the last one he went to, he must have walked past several times that he showed off. It's just like, you know, it's just like you could have called me. You could have let me know. You know, someone, you could have let us know. I would have given you the tour because I knew where most of them were. And you had a map with you. You didn't use it properly. It was just like, why? Why? I don't know if he's going to the farewell event. I am going to go to that farewell event so I can see all 80, hopefully, of the statues. If they haven't been vandalised again by that point, but to see them all in one place. 6X also made a video of him laughing at Jimmy Pie. Yeah. It wasn't at him, it was more of the reaction I got from people who were pissed off. Mr. Valeska says, 6X, Stu Bag following 6X should play the master. I don't know. Don't know about that. I don't think so. On either front. I think I missed a comment there. Yeah, Shiny West says, yeah, because Batman March is scared of losing his free samples deal. I don't know. Maybe he is. I think he's more scared of upsetting his audience than anything else. Because even in his review of Death Podcast, which I occasionally do watch, he seems terrified of seeing anything too controversial. You think Batman March will be good as the next Doctor? I think he would make a good Doctor. Shiny Wake says, Host Production doesn't know what the fuck he's on about, like, zero prop knowledge and just sucks like everyone else, yeah. I mean, okay. That YouTuber who did a naughty, a very bad naughty, I'll give him this, even though he had zero knowledge about the props, for the most part, at least, you know, you can give him this. His reviews were generally always honest and were always his own opinion. They were always his own opinion. Even if he was wrong about some things. Like, for example, I remember vividly... God, what the fuck is going on out there? I can hear sirens and everything. They're coming for me, people. They're coming for me. But in his review of the fourth Doctor TARDIS, robot TARDIS, he complained about the signs being the wrong colour. They were inverted. No, they were actually correct. Technically, because one of them was actually blank, one of them was the original colour, and the other ones were inverted, so... Yeah. Six Sec should say sorry to Host Productions. Why? Why? I can make critiques of him, he can make critiques of me. You, Gordon Bennett, complain about me constantly, but I'm not going to stop you from doing it or ask you to apologise, because, again, I don't care. Anyway. But please keep doing them, because I do find them mildly entertaining a lot of the time. Has Six Sec watched Drawing Rabbit's reviews? No. I haven't. I wasn't aware he did reviews. Has Six Sec watched tailored version Cyber Leader reviews? No, I haven't. Has Six Sec watched TJ Productions review Big Finish reviews? No. I will contact Mono Supreme about this issue we have with him. I don't have an issue with him, I just haven't spoken to him in a while. And I would just like to know why. Personally. Yeah. I'll get, but there you go. There you go. Yeah. By the way, also, Sun Boring Light is the fucking slowest person in the world to respond when you message him, whether you email him with his personal email, whether you send him direct messages. God, he takes forever to bloody reply. He does take forever to reply. Shiny Wedge says, imagine if PB Props or Dalek 688 reviewed the B&M figures. They'd be pissing themselves laughing with mocking them. I don't think PB Props would, because he has actually reviewed them. Sort of. For example, the third Doctor TARDIS set, he reviewed that. And he was very charitable towards it, actually. So, yeah, I don't know. Dalek 688, don't know, depends who's reviewing it. Because it's not just one person, it's a bunch of people, so... Don't know. And it depends also, like, if you get a person who's more into the figures or who isn't. Again, it depends. What does Six Sec think of Billy? Oh, I do not like Billy. He irks me to no end. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm getting fucking dizzy. I'm getting dizzy because I am very tired. I am very tired. I did not sleep very well last night. Yeah. God, I've been going nearly 2 hours with this. Yeah. I thought this would be a shorter live stream. I thought this would be maybe an hour at most, but yeah, this one's being a lot longer than the other one. Bubbles. Bubbles! Loads of bubbles! Ooh, get in the mood for Halloween. And there's this one. And then there's, what's this? Disco one. Look at the phase shift in that. 8mm. I mean, it kind of vaguely looks like 8mm. Noir, quite like noir. It's basically just black and white, but with higher contrasts, which I think look quite nice. I love how Genesis Darks look in black and white. Actually, they do look quite nice. Pop, okay, doesn't look different. Blush, beam, glow, slate, dream. Quite like this. Whoa. Oh no, it's Inferno. I'm sidestepping. Yeah. And there's a Dalek. Whoa. Trippy, man. Documentary. As a murder documentary, you can say, oh no, better not with this one, better not with this one. Maybe at a later date after that. Yeah. By the way, I posted this on Twitter or X. The two Fourth Doctor scarves that were in the Doctor Experience actually sold on eBay recently. There was a season 18 one that was in the late 80s console room. In there was a season 18 one and that in there. That one sold for £260. And then the other day, the one that was on the Fourth Doctor replica costume and that they had, that one sold on eBay for... That one sold a lot cheaper, £132 that one sold for. And unfortunately, my screenshot on that one didn't save properly, so I've just taken another. Yeah, there it is. Whoever got that one got a pretty good deal, like. Or even the other one. They were pretty good deals in that. For those Expedition replicas. Oh, I just remembered something else that I was going to mention. So, the TARDIS has had a repaint. Has had a noticeable repaint. Yeah. Which I'm glad for. And I bet Aldebar's glad for it because it means, hey, it's also got some new blue bits in the windows, but this is how it's going to look on a musical celebration on Radio 2 tomorrow. Doctor Who 6-year musical celebration on Radio 2 tomorrow. And it will be broadcast on the 15th of November on BBC Radio 2, then Sounds. Yeah. Hopefully there's a video version on that as well. And hopefully it gets included on the 60th anniversary Blu-ray. Hopefully 4K Blu-ray releases. So, yeah. Also, Dalek 6288 was releasing a new video today, and I think he has released it. I think they have released it. Let me check. Yeah, it is out there, so I know what I'm doing after this video. Now, has the comics froze? Yep, it has. It's done that thing again. For some reason on here, for some reason it freezes after a bit. I don't know why, so I'm going to have to go on the actual video itself on my phone to look at the comments. No, we should not legalize nuclear bombs. That says, I know that Sean's statue was in Newcastle Airport. Yeah, well, they were all over Newcastle, and around the area, and that they were all over the place. But there was 80 of them. The thing is, though, the thing with those statues as well, basically, not several of them were vandalized every single week. Every single week they've been there. I think the record was, I think the minimum amount was 4 in a week. The minimum amount of 4 vandalizations in a week. Which, yeah, just really bad. Which is a shame, because Leeds had a similar thing happening at the same time in Leeds. Except with them, rather than having Shaun the Sheep statues, they had bear statues. Because their cross-motion with it was, we're going on a bear hunt. Remember that book? Obviously not as iconic as Shaun the Sheep. Anyway. I'm trying to find where I am. Mr. Valletta says, I think the celestial toy maker needs to be a recurring villain, not just a one-off. Well, he's not a one-off. Because one, he's appeared in Big Finish before, previously, but also, obviously now he's making his big return to Doctor 2, so he, in any sense of the word, he cannot be called a one-off villain anymore. The host Productions is a very nice person. Okay, what has that got to do with him reviewing anything? Got nothing to do with that. It doesn't matter how nice or how much of an... Like, for example... I'll give you a good example. James Bulman, I really love as an actor, but he's a bit of an arsehole to people in real life. I won't go into everything, but... There's an example, like, where you can still like the person's work, but still think they're an arsehole or dickhead in real life. Okay, the live stream just went off there for a second. In case that didn't get... In case that was missed for whatever reason. I don't know, how much did people miss there? I don't know, I just did a reconnecting. But anyway, what I was saying is, I love James Woolman as an actor, but as a person, not so much. He can be a bit of an arsehole as a person. Six Sec, who is Kenny Bankus Wong 488? I have no idea. I don't know who he is. I've only ever got him to... He's only ever responded to me once. Once. Where I've got him to say something other than just whatever my video title is. Mono Supreme knows who you are. Yeah, I know he knows who I am. I've appeared in one of his videos before. I know he knows who I am. And wants you to... Mono Supreme knows who you are and wants to cut ties with Six Sec. Okay, we didn't really have ties. I just knew who he was and occasionally spoke to him. No, I have not done that to a dog. Any dog. Disgusting person. Have you ever seen Black Christmas and what do you think about it? Oof. Donkeys ago I saw it, and yeah, it was decent. Do you believe in the power of a curse? Not literally. No. Oh my, so Billy also Six Sec has beef with Billy now. What? That didn't make much sense. This is a masterpiece, okay. Shiny White says, what an underused villain do you feel they should come back? I'd love to see Shooty have a Mac or Ice Warrior episode, for example. Ice Warrior, yes. I mean, the problem is also some villains, you kind of lose it on diminishing returns where you use them too much. But yeah, I would like to see some return. Though RTD seems to be more focusing on more expanding media, like, for example, first television appearance of Beat the Meep. No, I love Dalek plungers. I'm glad they're staying. So anyways, what do you think of the 80s Renegade Greed Daleks compared to the 70s Planet and Genesis ones? Genesis ones are my favourite, then followed by the Planet ones. 80s ones, they just look a bit too shabby. Shabby in the... I like out of the 80s Grey Daleks, the Remembrance ones, the Remembrance Renegade ones are my favourite. Like, in Revelation Resurrection, the props have seen better days. They do. I still like them, but they have seen better days. Oh my Christ. 6 Sec, when's the next 6 Sec adventures? I've been waiting for centuries. Well, you'll keep on waiting. Unfortunately, there's no plans to do any. Ever again. Well, maybe. I don't know. But no current plans. I have ideas for ones I want to do. The problem is that my brother won't do them anymore. No one else will basically do them with me, and I cannot really do them on my own because I need someone else in there, to bounce dialogue off. Go Matt says, I'm gonna try some. We don't talk about 6 Sec Adventures as it was inspired by adventures from that, but yeah, but a lot of people were inspired by. Like, he wasn't my sole inspiration. I was inspired by other people as well. It says Auden Bennett on that one. Rather than Gordon, it says Auden. 6 Sec, remember that time you had... Okay. I'm sick of seeing the same fucking comments all over. No, do not replace the plungers with anything. What's your favourite classic tune from the 70s? Yeah, probably the 19 the season 11 through 17 version. Go on, Bennett, you misspelt Blu-ray. No, I'm not creating a new Discord server. If we neutralize you, will be... Shiny says, what, you did a video... What video with Mono Supreme did you feature in? The one where he talks about the 3 3/4 inch prototype figures. Because at the time he didn't have all of them. Apparently. So basically he reached out to me to record some footage. Now, unfortunately, I had to record it on my phone. I had to do it very, very quickly because I was very busy at the time in the process of moving everything out of my granny's old house at the time, so I had to desperately try and do it as quick as I could. But I'm also the reason, though, he does it in 4K. myself and another person being encouraging him, were desperately encouraging him to do 4K. So I'm part of the reason why he does 4K. Mr. Velasquez, do you believe in reincarnation or spiritual transformation? No. Thoughts on Destiny? Daleks. I like them, but they are very shabby. Six Sec, what do you do? 6 Sec adventures in the form of audio dramas. I've done 6 Sec adventures in the form of audio dramas before. I wouldn't need... The thing is, though, I don't know. I just don't have the incline. I just... Like, I don't know. I just don't want to particularly do them. Particularly. Those ones. Like, I do a live action one, and that maybe, but still, I just don't have the driving force and that to do it. Do you have the Polar Express? Yes. I have, in fact, I've got the 4K Blu-ray Steelbook. Watch the unboxing on my other channel. I think you know the answer to that, go on, Bennett. Oh, God, for God's sake, YouTube, I can't see the bloody comments. I have to put the phone this way so I can read it because it's covering up. Was the light grey paint on the Destiny Daleks a mistake or intentional? Neither, it's just what they had. It's just what they had, basically. It wasn't a mistake or intentional, it was... Are you talking about the actual Daleks? Because in terms of the actual Daleks, it was just what they had available. Like, they tried their best with basically zero budget behind it. Do you prefer playing good guys or bad guys? Bad guys, it's much more fun. It's much more fun. It's more enjoyable, plus you can really get into a character a lot more then. So, do you love the Polar Express? I do really enjoy it, and I do tend to watch it every Christmas. But, yeah. I think that might be the end of the comments. Yeah. So, I think if that is and truly, well and truly is, and that I might put an end on that to this live stream, because it has gone on for bloody ages now. Oh, there's one more. Okay, Shiny White says, I mean, it looks like they tried to repaint the Daleks and Jessica Graham going wrong, and it turned out to be right. No, not really. I think they were literally just going desperately with just what they had. I answered your question, Mr. Valeska. I watched it donkeys ago, and I remember enjoying it enough. Yeah. Don't know why people are talking about Christmas films already. It's bloody... Well, it's the end of September. I mean, we're going to the Halloween season, where I'll be rewatching some of the Halloween films. Particularly Halloween 4. I really like Halloween 4. I even enjoy Halloween 6. Do you reckon, would you ever collab with Mono Supreme if you talk together? I'm up for collaborations with people. I am very up for collaborations. And that. So, yeah, if Mono Supreme and that, said, do you want to say to me, do you fancy doing another collab? I'd be all up for that. Thing is, though, when I watched his video, though, he said, look, he says in the video, luckily a friend of mine has them. Take it away, 6 sec. And the thing is, this is like, when I watched that back on his video, Mono Supreme 2, I was thinking, like, the only time we had spoken before that video was for you to ask me to record that for that video. So, yeah, it was a bit odd that acting like we're being friends for ages when that was the first time he'd ever spoke to me. So, yeah. Yeah, go on, Bennett. Unless you show me proof that Mono Supreme has officially cut ties with me, like, I won't believe it. I think he just has forgotten that I don't know about forgotten about it exists, but just like something that isn't on his mind. I think that's just the case because I'm messaging him very much and he hasn't talked back to me in age. So I think that's probably the reason. Black Christmas is a Halloween film. Well, no, it's a Christmas film. That's a horror slasher film. That's what it is. It's like, for example, Thanksgiving is a Thanksgiving film. And that. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's back. You know what? I'm going to take this into the kitchen. Because I need a drink of water. And I think I'll put my tea on while I'm here. So the stream can continue. Unfortunately, it's not popping up with any of the other comments. Brought to you by... No way Maxie's is bloody sponsoring me. This is what I'm having for my tea. Courtesy of my grandparents. Hooray. So, yeah. Watch 6 sec. Put a meal in. Yeah. I'm not doing it in the microwave though because they don't turn out very nice in the microwave because we're going to put it in a halogen oven. And I'm off camera, I could be cooking anywhere. I could be the Timbuktu by now. Who knows? Who knows? What did I do with the bloody... There we go. Right, so I'll answer a few more questions and then I think I shall call it a day. Yeah. Because I've got many other things to do and many other things to watch. Like, for example, well, either tonight or tomorrow morning, probably, by then, the final 2 episodes of the first season of Fiona and Cake, which are being fantastic. Anyway, let's put the tablet down. Okay. Right. Have you heard... Ramon27 says, have you heard about the whole drama behind the upcoming Snow White remake? The actress seems to be quite a prick. Oh yes! Oh yes, I'm very familiar with what... God, like, you can see the other... In the interviews you've seen with her, you can see that other people, like, when she has the other, like, actors and that around her, just like the other people just going, God... Just like, you're shooting yourself in the foot here, you're shooting yourself in the foot here. Yeah. I don't hate Alduar, but it irks me to no end. And Big Chief, for what they offered and what happened after their closure, that's why. Nightmare Before Christmas is officially a Halloween film. That's because the director Henry Selick said it was. But you could watch it at either or. But again, like, basically, you can take it also when the film is also set as well. Like Die Hard as a Christmas film. Would you ever collab with a certain YouTuber or Billy Garrett John? Billy, yes, because I have a few things to ask him. Plus, it would be interesting, the vastly different opinions bouncing back and forth. So that would make it an interesting video. No, I didn't say I was friends with him. I said I've spoken to him and that before. We speak a few times. I didn't say we're friends and that because I didn't really know him well enough. And that for me personally, like if I say someone's my friend and that, I need to, get to know them a bit more. And I would like to. I would like to. Same with Sunboy and I would like to get to know them a bit better, and then I would call them my friend. And that, yeah, that's just how it goes. Because I don't just collab with the YouTuber or do something and then suddenly, yep, we're best mates, best friend. That doesn't work like that with me. Well, yeah, he hasn't been a shiny wedge. Yeah, he hasn't being allowed access to the internet. As far as I'm aware, I think he's either under house arrest or he's locked up somewhere until his trial. It's one of the two. It'll be one of the two things. I don't know. I don't know which, but it will be one of those two. I'm not apologising to Ian Levine. No, I cannot live stream my bum. That would violate YouTube's terms of service. Ian Levine needs to apologise to all the people he scammed. To be honest, if he just gave them the money back, I think he can. Then he wouldn't have to apologise. Then that would be the apology. Ha says, "Are you smashing? What? I don't know what the fuck that says." Gordon Bennett says he plans to do figure reviews for me to watch them. Okay. Be interesting to hear your actual voice, and it won't just be AI generated, it'll be totally legit. No. No RIP that YouTuber. Like, I don't want him to bloody rest in peace. Fucking arsehole. Who would you fight in a death match? Noel Clark or John Barrowman? Ooh. I don't know. I'd be fucked either way. Maybe John Barrowman, since he's slightly older. He's a bit older, so maybe John Barrowman. I'd have a slightly better chance. I'd still probably lose, but I'd still have a slightly better chance. Where is your brother? Is he still on the police? Yes. Basically, I'm not joking. I very rarely even see him or ever speak to him, and not just myself, the rest of my family as well. Because whenever, like, literally, he's always like, apart from when he goes out to watch a football match at a pub or somewhere, he's always just in his room in the dark on his PS5. Like literally, and his room's a fucking shithole as well. Like, if you think mine is bad, his is literally a rubbish tip. Literally. What? The Corpse Bride or Nightmare Before Christmas? Oh, which do I prefer? I think I prefer Corpse Bride. Plus, Corpse Bride you can watch at any point, whereas Nightmare Before Christmas, you've got to either watch it on Halloween or Christmas really to get the full enjoyment personally out of it. I personally prefer Corpse Bride. Hopefully that gets a 4K Blu-ray as well. It's a shame Elon Musk didn't make 5-inch figures because I'm gonna skip that. I don't know who that is. Would you voice a character in my Doctor Who short film? Yeah. Although, if I do, could you give me more direction on what particularly is happening in the scene, on the context of it as well, because that would help. I haven't seen a single Die Hard film before. I haven't seen any of them. I haven't watched any of them myself. No, my dog still has his testicles. In fact, I refused to let him get rid of them. Yeah. What's your favourite Cybermind design? I'm gonna have to go with the 80s Earthshot design. I mean, it could also tie in the attack design, but the Earthshot one's because I do like seeing the jaw in there. And then after that, don't know, it's either going to be the Invasion or the Revenge one, because I do quite like the chunkiness of the Revenge ones. I quite like the big handlebars and that on them. Why is this all just fighting bloody random people? No, I've never seen RoboCop, no. Sec, what sexuality are you? Well, I've answered that question before in previous live streams, so you can go and watch all of them to find out. Surely, fucking hell, here we go. Surely the Invasion 60s design was the best. Well, I mean, to be fair, part of that design was reused several times. For example, basically the Earthshock helmets onwards and that basically the designers used basically parts of a broken Invasion Cyberman helmet to make those. So yeah. Never played Uncharted. Kit Kat Chunky. I do love a Kit Kat Chunky. I haven't had a Kit Kat Chunky in a while, like I don't have them very often. It's normally for like birthdays and Christmas and stuff. Although at the minute I do have mini party rings. Because I'm 9. And if you get that reference, well done. Well done. Like most of you now are just going to be completely confused and baffled to what I was just doing. Do you respect RTD? Yes. Anyway. Turn that totally on. Oh, bloody hell, the chat keeps going. It's bloody going, the chat. What do you think a Doctor Who short film should be about? I don't know. I'd have to have a think, and I can't think at the minute because my brain's going to mush at the minute. Because this live stream's just been going on and on and on. I'm not one of those people who can just bloody endlessly live stream. It has to end at some point. I need to take a piss. Jesus Christ. Download Soulseek now. There are Doctor Who rips on there. Tons of them, including the new season 20. I wonder who put that up there. Yeah. Oh, God. What the hell's a Unidon? Oh, God. You're meeting the actual Mr. Oh, so you're meeting Jerome Jeremiah. You're meeting two and people in one. Or 3. Well, 2.5. Jerome, Jeremiah, and then Jay. Because even though they gave them the rights to use the Joker for that one episode, they weren't allowed to say his fucking name. Because Warner Bros. Are fucking weird like that. It's also the same reason why Scooby-Doo is not allowed, and Shaggy wasn't allowed to be in the shitty Velma series, which is why he is called Norville, because they are legally not allowed to use the name Shaggy, and they are not allowed to have Scooby in it. Because they're worried, obviously it'll damage their brand. And yeah, there fucking should be. When your regeneration cycle is over, so you will regenerate into 7 sec. Okay. No, I don't go to university. I've never been to university. No, they weren't heavily modded Tomb ones. They used bits of the Tomb ones, but they weren't modified Tomb ones. Basically, Because apart from the light bits and that in their head, nothing else was. Like, they're completely different shapes, for one, and that they've got no correlations to each other. Oh god, Scottish 6. Wow, Scottish 6 I can see all your subscriptions here. It's not a lot. There's a couple I recognise, a couple I don't. And I think people, it's finally time. And we say goodbye for now. That I end the live stream. Because honestly, I want my bloody tea, I need a piss, and my voice is starting to go at this point, so yeah, hope everyone enjoyed it, and I don't know when I'll do another one, who knows, but yeah, there we go.